Good morning, everybody. It's a beautiful Sunday morning, and we are here for our story starter. It is another week, so it is another week to get creative. And I'm going to try to do my best to help you out with a story starter to start our week. Now, for those of you who don't know, my name is Tim Holmes, and I am the author of children's books Peanut Butter and Dragon. We've also done Splash Fin Toothy Grin, and my latest, The Reno Buzz. And these guys here were originally stories that we created at bedtime for my boys, Malcolm and Cooper. And we liked the stories so much, we started to turn them into books. And so these all really began with a very simple recipe. And that eventually developed, into a workshop that I perform with children all over North America called Start a Story Workshop. And it's a group story building activity. And you can check out more of that at timholmes.com and all the details about that, and watch some videos of the experience and some interviews with different news outlets and all that about that. But what happens at the very beginning of every Start a Story workshop is I bring a couple of story starters, and they look like this. They've got an image and a couple of sentences below, and so we've been sharing these on Sunday mornings with you guys in the hopes that you guys will end up creating stories with us throughout the week. Now, I'm going to show you the story starter in a second. We'll go through it and I'll walk you through a couple of ideas and things you want to think about as you build your story. But I do want to give a shout out to the young authors who have taken our story starters over the last couple of weeks and built stories from them. 10-year-old Vanessa was the very first one. She did a wonderful job. And then we had Owen and Eric, a brother team, work on one together. And they were 9 and 6 years old. And so really want to appreciate you guys joining in and having fun, because it makes me feel like I'm doing the right thing here. So thank you so much. I hope you continue to create and show everyone what wonderful ideas are hidden inside your imaginations. So without further ado, our story starter for the morning. We have what looks like, he kind of looks like an angry troll. He looks like a little bit of an angry troll. And he seems to be shouting or talking to a squirrel. And at the bottom, the sentences say, he wasn't afraid. He knew something that the troll did not. He wasn't afraid. He knew something that the troll did not. He, the squirrel, I guess. Now, granted, if you're writing this, you can change that he to a she if you want. There's no reason the squirrel can't be a woman. There's no reason that the troll can't be a woman. You guys can figure that out when you create your story. But here's the idea. If that squirrel is going to be our main character, and we have this beginning of a story to trying to figure out, our squirrel needs a name, doesn't he? So that's the first thing you want to think about. You want to think about a really good squirrel name. And, you could go with Squirrely or Nibbles or, Snacky. But maybe you go with Shoelace or Fuzzy Wuzzy. I don't know. It's completely up to you. Then our troll. If the troll is going to have conversations with our squirrel and they're going to have to figure out some kind of problem, the troll is going to need a name too. So we want to come up with a really good troll name. Now, when I'm naming trolls, I like to come up with really odd sounding ones like Bazakuk or Blarg or Grumbles. And just something a little different that sounds, and especially in this scenario where the troll seems to be grumpy or upset about something, maybe something that sounds grumpy or upset. Now, there's a castle, you'll notice in the background of this guy. We've got a little castle, there's a ladder, and a drawbridge that's pulled up. So, maybe is the troll trying to get in the castle? Do you think he's trying to get in? What? Why? Why would the troll want in the castle? Is there something in there that he wants? Now, he's holding a big axe. Big axes can do lots of damage. But we're in the business of making children's stories. So the axe can be there to be something scary, but we don't want it to be something mean, like killing or hurting. We don't want that axe to do anything terrible that way. This is a children's story we're trying to write. Something that we're going to read for a bedtime story. And so that is something we want to be careful with when we build our stories and the reasons the troll wants to get in. He doesn't want to get in to hurt people in the castle. That's not why he wants in. There's something else. And sometimes with children's stories, it helps to take something really big and scary and give it a really silly reason to be doing what it's doing. Maybe they have all the Fruit Loops in the kingdom, and the troll, he's got a Fruit Loop craving and he really needs to get the Fruit Loops. I don't know. But it would be something like that, something ridiculous. Now, the biggest part of that story starter, it says he wasn't afraid. He knew something that the troll did not. So what does the squirrel know that the troll doesn't, that makes the squirrel not afraid of the troll? What is it that he knows? Does he know a special secret? Does he know a secret password? Does he know that the troll is standing on a slippery banana peel? I don't know. Maybe he knows something the troll does not. Now that's a wonderful beginning. We've got a name for our squirrel. We've got a name for our troll. We're going to try and figure out why the troll is getting into the castle. Maybe make it less serious and scary and more ridiculous. And we also need to figure out what the squirrel knows that the troll does not. So those are really about 4 things. 5 if you really push it. And there you have a beginning. Now we're going to move right to the ending. And again, we move to the ending. For those of you who haven't seen a story starter before, we go to the ending next because we like to know where we've begun and where we're headed. It makes building the middle that much easier. So in our ending, we need to figure out, well, does the troll actually get into the castle? Does he successfully get in the castle? That's something we got to say yes or no to. Just that simple. Now, if he does get in, is it what he expected? Or do things turn out a little bit differently than he planned? Now, if he doesn't get in the castle, well, where does he go then? Now, and there's a whole other thing here. They seem to be starting off where the troll is grumpy and the squirrel knows something that the troll does not. In the end, they're not agreeing at the beginning, but in the end, do they become friends? Could that happen? It's your story. Really, anything can happen. But I wanted to throw that idea out to you. So in the end, we got to figure out, yes or no, does the troll get in the castle? Is it what he expected if he does get in? Or, if not, where does he go? And, in the end, do the squirrel and the troll, do they become friends? Could be. Lots of kids' stories end that way. So there is our ending. So now that we know where we're headed in the ending, I think the middle is probably going to be the troll trying to get into the castle. And you'll remember, if you've seen Story Starter before or been part of Start a Story Workshop, we embrace the rule of 3. And so the middle of our story is going to have 3 main parts. And those 3 parts will be the troll trying to get in the castle, but failing. He's going to try something to get in the castle, and maybe the squirrel calls for some help. Different things will happen, and that will stop the troll from getting into the castle. So we need to come up with 3 ways that the troll is going to get into the castle, or try to get into the castle, but it's not going to work out for some reason. And they can be silly, they can be funny, they can be spooky, whatever you want it to be, because it's your story. And that's it, guys. That's your skeleton. Those are your bones of your story. 4 or 5 ideas for the beginning, 3 or 4 ideas for the ending, and 3 parts to your middle. And all of a sudden, you'll be able to build yourself a story. Now, if you get a chance this week, you can actually flip through my video archive and look at the Build a Book series of videos. It's 3 half-hour sessions where I talk you through the different choices, and you get to be able to build your own story. And I can walk you through in a little bit of deeper detail about how to build your story. Since we've already done a story starter here, you can actually look at Build a Book session number 2 and 3. And those will help you organize your ideas. And then part 3 will help you add the art to your different pieces. And so, ladies and gentlemen, as always, it's a complete blast to help you guys create. Thank you very much for watching along as we do this. I've got a couple big projects coming up, including I very much miss doing Start a Story Young Writers Workshop live with you guys in person. And so we're working very hard to make Start a Story a virtual experience. And that is going to be coming up in the next couple of weeks. And so please look for that at timholmes.com or at Tim Writes on any social media. And I'll be broadcasting when we plan to go live with the online virtual version of Start a Story Workshop so that we can all be creative together. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Tim Holmes. If you love what's happening here, tell 3 people who don't know about me what's happening at timholmes.com, where we have the free downloads and activity guides and sheets. Also at timholmes.com, you can go down to the bookshop and pick up an autographed copy of any 3 of my books, Peanut Butter and Dragon, Splash from Tooth Again, and The Rhino Buzz. Your support is very much welcome. Thank you so much for watching and staying along and being creative with me. Folks, take care of yourselves, take care of your families, and have fun creating. Have a great Sunday.